Testing, testing, testing. Uh-oh. Ah, okay. Looks like we're finally starting. Good morning, y'all. This is Ned over at My Philippine Dreams, N to the E to the D, over at MPD, coming at you from Dumaguete City, the city of gentle people, Negros Oriental, the Philippines, area code 6200, for those trying to get a hold of my fan club, which has a membership of one, something we're trying to work on. This is the weekly livecast, the Wednesday morning livecast. Today is October 24th, 2017. The first day of the rest of our lives. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. And today is a gift. That's why they call it the present, or so we've been led to believe. The live stream comment section is open. As always, feel free to ask questions, leave comments, goof around. Just try to keep it somewhat civil and moderately well behaved. If you're not going to behave, I'm going to have to ban you, and then you'll have to make up another anonymous username account and come back next week. But first, this week's corporate sponsor is returning once again by popular demand. It is a book, an ebook, entitled Chasing Your Philippine Dream, an Expat's Guide to the Philippines, which covers virtually every possible topic relevant to preparing and surviving or tolerating or putting up with and dealing with long-term life in the Philippines. The book comes with a 100% money-back guarantee. If you are not completely satisfied with your purchase, just email me at myphilippinedreams@gmail.com and I will gladly, if somewhat sadly, refund your money. Also note, this is a recent development, you cannot order the book through an iOS device or an Android device. So if you're trying to order it with your phone and you're trying to use PayPal, it's probably not going to work because Cells doesn't trust Android and Apple devices, mobile devices for some reason. So it's best to order it from a laptop or your PC at home, which is more secure. The 450 plus page ebook is pretty damn good. It has a 100% money back guarantee. And also thanks to Jing and Lee, who were nice enough yesterday to help test out these PayPal issues that I was having. Jing was located in the Philippines and Lee was in Indiana in the US, I believe. Both purchased the book to test the PayPal and were refunded their money for helping out. So I appreciate that help, guys, because it was kind of freaking me out. I'm like, God, I lost PayPal on my Cells. So if you're trying to buy the book through Cells, you got to use your PC or your laptop. Patreon, if you found what I'm doing to be of some value, consider supporting the ongoing efforts on my Patreon site, www.patreon.com/Philippine Dreams. Special thanks to all patrons, past and present, including Sir Rico, Dan N., Tom D., 1DIR, KCS, Dave H., Dale S., Sir Ahmed, Kevin F., and my last patrons, Don and Maribel. Also note that I still have the $498 that is in the donation kitty. The link to all the donations is down in the video description box. I want to use that for some sort of college tuition assistance program for needy people, and I'm still waiting to run into Dorchester Jim because he's got somebody lined up that would be perfect for that. So that's something that we're going to be doing. Also, somebody asked via Facebook, they said, because on my Facebook on Fridays I post a photo and they're like, Ned, this is coming from James R via Facebook. He says, Ned, who are the Peanut Kids, and why do you show their hands every week? The Peanut Kids are some poor kids from the squatter areas north and south of Dumaguete. Me and Michelle have known some of them for years. They're poor kids, but they sell peanuts at night on the boulevard. So what they do is they go to school during the day, and at night in the evening, they go along the boulevard and they got the big wire rack with all the peanuts hanging from it, boiled peanuts and all that. And so every Monday night we have ice cream Monday and we have luau Friday. So ice cream Monday, get them ice creams on Monday, and we get them luau on Friday. Costs like 4 to 500 pesos. And I don't want to take pictures of their faces because that's kind of exploitive and degrading. So what I do is I just have them put all their hands in the middle with the receipt from the luau. And that's not coming out of the $498 that's in the donation kitty. That's just something I do every week with funds from AdSense and stuff. All right, let's make sure this thing is still working. All right. Jerry Risotto Quentong Baliu. Congratulations to the Elias. You guys put up some really good videos yesterday. You guys might want to check them out. Peter Van Dumpster, Gerardo Risotto. He's in the. What I'll do is I'll put links to your guys' channels in the video description box afterwards. So good morning, one. Good morning, all. Congratulations. We'll be talking about Blackfoot in a little bit. But first, free stuff. Free stuff. It's all about free stuff. Last week's trivia question was, this common household appliance is typically used for keeping yummy mango floats nice and chill. If you're in the Philippines, you know what mango floats are. They're delicious. In past live casts, I have also noted that it serves an important secondary function, at least in my house. What is this household appliance and what is this important secondary function? Unfortunately, nobody got the answer to that. The correct answer is actually refrigerator. And what I use the freezer section for is my food waste, because I only bring out my trash to the collection area once a week. So I take all the food trash, food scraps and all that, and I stick it in the freezer so that the ants don't invade the house and destroy everything. So that's an important secondary function. That's something that I've learned through trial and error. The refrigerator in the Philippines is very important. All right, this week's trivia question. And if you want a free copy of my ebook, make sure you got your browser up and get ready to email myphilippinedreams@gmail.com. This week's trivia question is, with the new season of Stranger Things coming up, having finished reading Ready Player One, which is an excellent book and also references this question, and seeing as how many of my friends back in the States are diving into the resurgence of Dungeons & Dragons, this week's trivia question is, this early D&D dungeon module, which is now considered a classic, was written by the creator of Dungeons & Dragons. The high-level dungeon module featured a series of fiendish traps and adversaries and culminated in a battle with the dire Arch-Lich, Acererak. The first person to email both the name of this famous dungeon module and the name of its creator to myphilippinedreams@gmail.com get a free copy of my book, a $10.95 value, at any of your local book retailers. All right, let's get into this. I hope you guys are behaving in the comment section. Be nice. Michael W. on the channel update in Dumaguete flood damage. Very good footage, but I was disappointed not to see you going down the water slide with the kids. If you remember from that video, the kids were using a drainage ditch, and it was a steep drainage ditch, and it was water pouring down it, and they were sliding down it on rice sacks. It was pretty cool. I was driving along because I had just taken some drone footage of all the damage back in Paleen, Panon, and I had to pull over and get that. My answer to Michael W. is, I can just imagine what would happen if I tried to do that. The headlines would have been something along the lines of, oversized foreigner causes secondary flood damage in Paleen, Panon. That wouldn't have worked out good. Next up, Phil Horn, on the video that I did a long time ago, years ago, about 3 years ago, on our beachside digs in Darwin video. What was the reason for leaving this place? Now, Michelle and I, about 4 months after I got here, we got a place down in Darwin. It was a beautiful place. It was right on the water, had a giant yard, came with 2 dogs. It was really nice. The only problem was, and this is part of my Philippine dream, this is something I thought I wanted, but it didn't really pan out. There was no internet, or the internet that existed, you basically had to use between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. And it was just too far from the city. It was about 20 kilometers from Dumaguete. And I discovered over time that I prefer to be on the outskirts of the city and not so far away from it because of the internet, because of shopping, just restaurants, all that stuff. So we stayed there about 6 months. I'm also dealing with a flesh fly infestation. I don't know if anybody else is having problems with giant house flies in their house right now. I've had to blast about 10 of them. And it's either coming from 2 things. Either with all the flooding recently, it caused a giant eruption of these flesh flies, and they're flesh flies because they look like giant house flies with those stripes on their back. Or Michelle was here a couple weeks ago, and I've had problems. There's a rat up in the crawl space. And he's not a quiet rat. He's a loud rat, and he's building something up there or something. So I convinced Michelle a couple of weeks ago to scamper on up into the crawl space, something which I'm not physically capable of doing. And she distributed some poison up there. About 2 days later, didn't hear the rat anymore. And then started to smell the rat. Now, my buddies down at Bogart's, my consultants, guys who have been here for decades, assured me that when you poison rats, they'll go outside because part of the poison makes them really thirsty, so they go outside to try to seek water. Didn't happen. He died up there. It stunk to high heaven for about 4 or 5 days, and now I got all these flies blasting around. I've killed about 10 of them. And the thing is, these things are so big, the aerial insecticide stuff, you got to really blast them, like coat them with it to kill them. Otherwise, they just wipe it off. Let's go to the comment section real quick. Stephen Dornbo says, your book is awesome. Thank you very much. Catabatic is here. Catabatic is here. What's up, Ned and everyone? If you want, go check out Catabatic's channel. He's got a lot of Alan Parsons sets of cool freaking military shit flying around. I love that stuff. Jesus is my King 777. Is the peso rate still 50 per dollar? Yeah, it's somewhere around there. It's been going up.